guys, this is Shannon with Shannon McTighe Photography. I am excited to edit this photo with you guys with our new Presley collection. The Presley collection is a collection of presets that are black and white presets. They are similar to the ones that we've released recently where they're stackable and they're customizable so that you can kind of go through and pick and choose what you want to put on your black and white photo. You can use this preset at the end of your editing, like once you've edited in Lightroom, Photoshop, and then just place this preset on top as a final touch. If you want to do some black and whites, you can use in the beginning. It's really however you want to use it. When you first start with the Presley collection, you're going to come over here and the Graceland conversions is where you're going to want to start. You have the high key, the mid key, and the low key, and you do need to pick one of these three to continue on. You can't really use anything else until you've picked these three, or at least you won't be able to have it in black and white. So find the one that makes the most sense for your photo. For me, I'm going to end up using, I think I'm going to use the high key. And then I'm going to drop down here under the Hunka Hunka Foundations. And under there, these are other black and white presets that you can put on top. And so when I'm applying these presets, what I'm looking for are my skin tones and the colors and in general, just the texture of the image. And if it looks really strong, I'm not worried because I can lower the amount of it. Or if it's not strong enough, I can increase it. So I'm just looking at the overall image and seeing what I like. And there's quite a few on here that I like. But I know with this one, I'm going to use the Falling in Love because I like the details that come out in this image. After that, I'm going to drop down to the King AI brushwork. So this brushwork is for your background, your subject, your skin. The reason we have this is sometimes when you convert a color photo into a black and white photo, you can lose those details that may have been standing out in your photo originally. And then when you put it to a black and white, those details aren't quite popping out. So wanted to make sure that we added this. So if something is not popping out to your liking, you can make sure that it does kind of give that pop that you're looking for. So for me, I do like what the background looks like. I'm going to come down here to the subject separation and I'm going to come down to the soft darken. And I love what it does to soft darken. It's a little much just for my taste on this image. So I'm going to lower it a little bit. And I think I'll lower it to like about, I think I'll do right there around the middle there. And then after that, I'm going to come down here to you have the skin soft, the bright eyes, the clothes. I am going to make my clothes pop back out again. And again, I'll pull that down just a smidgen. Then I'm going to come to the rhinestone alterations. This is where you can make some micro adjustments to your image and you can stack these as well. So this particular photo, I think I'm going to do the mid-tone drop, but I don't want it that dark. I just want it like 20% darker. So I'm going to drop it down to 20%. And then I'll keep coming down here. And then if you want your highlights to pop a little bit, this is a good one. Or if your highlights are too bright, you can always drop them down. Same with the shadows and the whites. For me, I'm going to come down and I think, actually I'm going to come up. I'm going to do a contrast pop. And I'll lower my contrast down to about 70%. And then I'll come down here and I will do a double clip. I like this because it really makes the image pop out more for me. I just don't want it at 100. So again, I'll bring this one down to 30%. And then I do love a nice soft matte. But again, globally, I just want it at 20%. I can always add more with one of our brushes around the edges or wherever I want it. But globally, I just want it at 22% of a soft matte. Then I'm going to come here to the bright lights of Vegas. And this is where any of the light or overlays you might have on your previous photo, you can make them pop back out again. So for me, I have light over here in the left corner and I have some bokeh light in the top right corner. And when I went to black and white, it's just not popping out quite as much as I want. So I'm going to go to stage left, which is going to make the left side of the screen kind of creamy and bright. And I love that. Then I'm going to do corner right, which is going to make the bokeh in the top right kind of pop out more. So I'm going to click both of those and add those to the image. And then under the blurred Elvis siding, this is where if you want to make your background even more creamy than originally you had it, you can do that with this, or just the skyline, you can do it here. For me, I think I will do the bokeh, but just the light, and I'll bring it down also about 55%. I just want it a little bit creamy in the back. And then under here, you can pick a vignette if you like a vignette. I do like every once in a while I'll throw in a light or medium. For this image, I'm going to leave it off. But under color impersonators, I love this section. So this is where you can choose the color tone for your black and white. You can leave it as is if you want, or you can make it a cooler black and white. Like this one, the Blue Christmas, gives a nice cool black and white. Temperature rising gives it a nice warm. So play around with these. These really help just create a nice tone to your black and white image. For me, I'm going to choose the Morning Fire. I like what that one's doing. And then if you've seen my images in the past, you probably know I don't use grain very often, but if I'm doing a black and white, I just personally like a little bit of grain. I feel like it gives it a nice raw feeling to the photo. But again, if you don't like grain, you don't have to do any, or you can add minimal. I'm going to do, so you have coarse, you have gritty. I'm going to do medium, but I'm going to pull it up just a smidgen. And then usually if I add grain, I do add some dehazing light. And it's just, I like that creamy look it gives to the photo. And then lastly, I always add a little bit of sharpening, either subtle, moderate, extreme, whatever you're looking for in this image. I might even go moderate actually, just to make them stand out. Before I call it, I'll even come up here and I may even decide to make my whites pop a tiny bit more. So I'm going to click white pops, but drop it down a little because I don't want it that high. I do want it to stand out a little more. And then I would call this good. And so this is before, and this is after. Before, after. And I absolutely love this image. I feel like it gives that vintage vibe that the whole image is going for anyways. If you have any questions or want to learn more information, please go to www.greaterthangatsby.com.